Hey guys, Thor Ragnarok right now is currently in theaters, and if you haven't seen it, you need to go, because I'm already lined up to see it the second time this week because it is seriously that good. In the entire trilogy, this is by far the best Thor film that we have seen. It basically strips everything that we've already known of Thor from the prior two films, and they bring this new freshness and this new vibe to the tone of the film that seriously, they did such a good job on it. They went in a completely right direction with this. Now when you go see the film, one of the surprising things that you would actually find out is it is probably the most funniest Marvel film that we've seen.
Oh, what?
You will laugh so much in this film, it is ridiculous. From the start of the film to the end, it is filled with jokes. They use Chris Hemsworth comedic timing to like the T. Like, I didn't know he was like that funny. I knew he was funny, but like this funny, it was just crazy. And you never would think of it from Thor Ragnarok. I actually think it's funnier than Guardians of the Galaxy. So get ready, so when you see it, you will be laughing. And it wasn't even just Chris Hemsworth who was funny. I mean, Cate Blanchett as Hela was hysterical. We had Jeff Goldblum, and everyone thinks Jeff Goldblum is funny. And then Tessa Thomas as Valkyrie, even she was funny. Pair that with Bruce Banner and the Hulk, this movie will have you laughing in your seat. It is crazy. You already saw from the trailer that it was kind of taking its cue from Guardians of the Galaxy, because obviously that movie was a success. And you can see it with their soundtrack, just the tone of the film, visually, the sets, the colors. So they elevated Thor, because I'm pretty sure people thought that was kind of boring. I liked the first one. Of course, the first one wasn't really doing much. The second one, you know, had that darker tone. I don't think people jived with that. They have elevated Thor to what people wanted to see, and it paid off because the movie is awesome. Now, one of my favorite parts of this film was Doctor Strange's cameo as well, because we already know from the end of Doctor Strange that he was going to pop up in Thor Ragnarok, and the way they've done it is actually just so well done, and you can actually see that Doctor Strange's powers has grown since he's became Sorcerer Supreme at the end of the film. This is really good because we know we're leading up to Infinity War, and we're going to need some big power hitters to take on Thanos. I mean, I don't think Iron Man or Captain America can do much, so we definitely need Doctor Strange's powers to be amped up if he plans to take on the Mad Titan. I don't want to get into too much on Thor just yet without saying spoiler alert, because, well, let's just do that right now. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the film, go see it because it's freaking amazing. Then come back and see the rest of this video so I don't spoil it for you. So in terms of character progressions, Thor's character progresses a lot through this film. Now, they've kind of revitalized Thor and gave him a new surge because he's stripped of his hammer, and then with the events of the film, we see that he actually had the power within him the entire time, and Mjolnir was just kind of funneling the energy. Now we know Odin dies in this film, so, I mean, I told you spoiler alert. So towards the end of the film when Thor is battling Hela, I was a little sad because I thought if he was being powered by the Tesseract and she had the Soul Gem. None of that happens, but more on that later. So he actually had the power within him the entire time, and now that Odin's gone and he's the official king of Asgard, maybe he's actually connected to the Odin force in some form or another. That's basically why his powers are so amped up, which actually put him up there in the heavy hitters of the people who could actually help against the fight against Thanos, because as of right now, I think the only people that stand a chance against Thanos would be Thor, Scarlet Witch, Vision to some extent because he has an Infinity Stone, but we know he's going to lose it because he needs all 6 of them, and then Doctor Strange. So at the end of the film, they have set up Thor to be a main contender in the fight against Thanos. I mean, we really can't complain too much about Tom Hiddleston as Loki because he is like Loki personified, but in terms of character progressions, the character is kind of stuck because he's still up to his old tricks. See what I did there? He does bad, he does good, he helps out Thor, then he betrays him. Basically does that in this film, but you know, he's Tom Hiddleston, he's Loki. On Hela, we have Cate Blanchett playing the first female villain in the entire MCU universe, and she did not let fans down. She was freaking awesome! She was seriously the best thing in this film, also my favorite. But with that, I do have some nitpicky things that I think Marvel could have done differently. Now, in the film, she's basically an exposition character, basically feeding the audience the exposition of her backstory and where she was this entire time. And we find out that she and Odin actually, way back when, were taking over all these realms until he became a benevolent ruler. She wanted to still kick more ass, and so he locked her away. But the entire time that she's letting the audiences know this and it's basically trying to take over Asgard, Thor is busy fighting the Hulk in the gladiator ring. So it's not until the end of the film that these two characters really collide, and I would have liked to see more scenes with her and Thor. And as much as I really like all the jokes and the funny tone in this film, I really would have liked to see more of a darker tone. I mean, it is Thor Ragnarok, so I feel instead of kind of going for the joke, they could have gotten a little more serious, but you know what, it still was really good. I hope she's not dead. They really need to bring her back. I feel if Marvel just use her as a one-off character, it's kind of a waste. She has so much that she could offer into the entire MCU universe, not just Thor as a character. I really hope, please Marvel, have her in Infinity War, because she would do so much good in there. Actually, she would do bad in there, but you know what I mean. Hulk in this film actually progresses a lot as well, and I think this is the first time in a film for me that I've actually seen Hulk and Bruce Banner as two separate things, not Bruce Banner just turning into the Hulk and then being the same. They're actually two separate beings. We actually find out that the Hulk has been in his Hulk form for 2 years, just fighting in this gladiator ring, and that is why he's actually learning to talk. Now, he basically is a pouty, angry little baby in this film, and it works. Brings a lot of laughs, but it's good to see that the Hulk is emerging as his own character, separate from Banner. Now, Bruce Banner was also really good having this film because it was nice to see his bromance with Thor and just how they both are like teaming up for this like buddy cop movie to let's go save Asgard. One of the things I really liked and I thought was really good detail is at one point when they're in the Quinjet, the message that Black Widow sent to Age of Ultron replays, and that's basically what brings the Hulk out of his Hulk form and back into Bruce Banner because of the emotions that he's feeling from it. So as much as I wasn't the biggest fan of this romance that they try to brew between Bruce Banner and Black Widow, I do like that they didn't just drop it, they're still using it, and that actually it means something to Bruce Banner and not that it actually still affects him. So I do like that, I do appreciate that detail. Now in this film we do get a new addition, Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson, and I think she was a solid add to the cast because one, Tessa Thompson, hilarious too, fits perfectly in this film, but she's also the kind of like the new romantic interest for Thor because in this film, you know, we don't have Jane Foster, and as much as I don't like that because I hate the fact that at the end of Thor Dark World, he basically decides to stay on Earth for Jane, and then in the next film, she's nowhere to be seen, they broke up off screen, but we don't get any more details of why it happened. And so that just kind of bothers me on a personal level. With that said though, the addition of Valkyrie makes much more sense, and also she'll be able to actually do something in the fight against Thanos because I don't think Jane would be able to do much against him. So one of the questions a lot of people are asking themselves is, where the hell is the Soul Gem? Because everyone thought Hela was gonna have it, even I thought that. In the movie, we know that Loki has the Tesseract with him. At one point when he was going through to bring back Surtur with, you know, his skull, we saw him walk by the Tesseract and we know he has it with him. We didn't actually see him take it, but we know he has it. And one of the things we're still missing is the Soul Gem. Now, there is a lot of thought that the Eternal Flame that Hela used to bring back her minions and Theris, people are thinking that is the Soul Gem, you know, in a fiery form. Could be, we don't know. Did they try to sneak it in, or have they just not brought it into the films yet? We don't know. I'm kind of on both sides. I can see it being the Eternal Flame. I'm kind of sad that if it is, because I really wanted to see more of an impact of like, you know, like, here is the Soul Gem. That was actually way back when in Thor Ragnarok and you just missed it. So, in my final ranking of all the Thor films, I definitely have to say it's Thor Ragnarok, Thor the Dark World. And I kind of have to say it's probably my top 3 favorite of the entire MCU films. It's seriously a solid film. I want to see it a second time again. I am going to see it a second time again. So go see it because it is the best Thor film out there.